Nothing else. Even the CD changer. Nothing on the air conditioning. Nothing on anything else. Working gauges. Okay, so there's the new crash bar that I've got, new to me, which is going to replace the back there. But the first thing I want to take a look at is the FRM module. So apparently I've read that there's a module in these minis that if you disconnect the battery, reset the battery, anything like that, it can cause this unit to fail. So when the guy had this in storage after he got it from the insurance company, he had disconnected the battery. So that stands to reason then that this could have failed. There we go. So that comes out like that. That was easy enough. Let's see. Hopefully I've not broken too many clips. This is the module that I'm going to be taking out. So this is the module that I've heard is quite bad. That was 10 minutes to take that out from start to finish, even trying to find the spanners. And yeah, I'm going to try and take this to a place in Birmingham, hopefully tomorrow, see if they can get this fixed. Then I can pop it back in the car and hopefully all the electrics should start working again. I just had this checked and unfortunately this is not the cause of the issue. So I'm going to plug this back in. It's been tested. Everything seems to be working with the unit. So what I'm going to do is go plug it back into the car and then start looking at some fuses. Okay, so we took the FRM module out, took it down to be tested. Turns out there was nothing wrong with it. Brought it back, plugged it back in. Let's see if the lifting it back out and letting it reset for a little while has done anything. I don't think so. Nope. Okay, so the new FRM module changes didn't work. So what I'm doing now is I've got the battery hooked up to this conditioner unit. So what this will do is it'll run through reconditioning the battery, get it up to fully charged. So I'm wondering if maybe there's just too low battery for it to kick in all the systems, as it does have a bit of an occasional struggle to start. So we'll see how that goes. I'll leave this on for a few hours and we'll check back at the end. Just in case that doesn't work, I'm going to pull out every single fuse from inside, which is just inside on the right here on the driver's side. And yes, I'm going to pull out all the fuses from inside the driver's side, and then I'm going to have a look under the hood for all the external ones as well and see if we can get this thing working. Okay, I have found a 15 amp fuse that was broken, or at least broke as it pulled out. It's a 15 amp fuse. It's for the washer, the screen washers, so, and the wipers. So let's see if replacing this sorts my problem. No. So it wasn't that fuse. We'll try again. So you can see here that the reconditioning is fully completed. So it has all different stages of recovering the battery, making sure it can hold a charge. The battery's all good. It goes through this reconditioning, and then once it's green here, this is basically where it holds nearly a full charge for 10 days, and then it goes onto this float stage at the end. But yeah, really nice thing, this. Okay, so the battery is fully reconditioned now. Let's see if it makes any difference at all. Exactly the same. The relays I haven't checked, and I believe that this module, this relay, is for most of the electrical systems. It's a control module. Now, the car battery has been back in about, I don't know, 2 to 5 minutes.
and this is already quite warm to the touch, and earlier it was really hot, too hot to touch. I think this is getting too hot, and I think there's an issue with this relay. It was so hot, in fact, that earlier on I touched it, got quite scared at the heat temperature, and took the battery out.
Okay, I've got a new relay, so I'm going to try putting this into the cart and see if this sorts out my electrical issues. So that is where the relay sat, which is RL2. Exactly the same part numbers and everything. Fit the new one in there and see if that solves any of our issues. Damn it. Okay, so the relay change didn't do anything. So I'm wondering if it might be due to the boot spoiler and the fact that the boot is in a bit of a dodgy situation. So I need to swap the boot, but I can't do that just yet. So what I'm going to do is, because I think it might be thinking the boot's closed when it's obviously not, and that's triggering something with the boot spoiler, which is causing a problem with the electrics. So what I've done is undone a couple of caps here. I'm going to remove all of this and try and pull this whole boot locking mechanism out, see if I can release this. I found this, which I think is where they may have tried to release the boot manually. Couldn't do it, and that's why they cut a hole in it. So we'll see how we go. Okay, this section is now off, but I'm going to try and manually release this now. See if it works. And that's that. Just moved this white pin to the side here. I'm pretty sure that is where that black cable was meant to be. So that would have been the manual release, probably threads through there, and they'll have snapped that. Possibly there was a bend in it, and snapping that basically just broke this mechanism, and that's why they've had to cut a hole in the boot. Okay, I've now plugged my boot mechanism back in. Now the boot shows as being open, and this light wasn't working beforehand, so it now recognizes the boot's open, which maybe, just maybe, let's just see if anything happens. I'm not holding much hope for this. Might have to actually fix the boot for this. No, still nothing. So yeah, I've now reattached that into here, and now you can pull that catch open. So yeah, they tried to open this manually and it failed, which is why they then had to cut the boot open. So now we appear to have fixed this release mechanism. So this is here, pull that, it thinks the boot's open. All the electrics there are working. Now if I click that shut, it thinks the boot's closed, and now I can release the catch again. Simple as that. Okay, so I'm going to take the bumper off. Okay, so what we've got here is everything's off, all these are out, but I think hopefully this might be where our electrical issue is, but basically where the crash bar's crushed, it's trapped all the cabling behind it. I don't know if you can quite see that, but yeah, I've got to try and figure out a way getting this cabling out for it to come off. Okay, so I've ordered a new rear wiring loom because obviously this one is completely knackered. Now the new one that comes in starts from the back there, so I'm hoping I can just cut this out, get a new one put in, and yeah, rewire it and hope for the best. But for now I think I'm gonna have to chop all this off just to be able to get this free. But that looks like it may be the source of my electrical issue. Okay, well that is the crash bar off. But yeah, basically I've had to chop the loom off here and here in order to get this off, because basically it's just completely trapped behind here, and I think any wires, I found a couple of, at least one broken wire already, but all the wiring's completely knackered behind there. So I have a feeling that hopefully replacing that will sort me out. I've ordered a new loom, so I'm gonna have to cable up all of that at some point. But yeah, so I've now trimmed all that cabling off just to see if just to get the bumper guard free, the crash bar free. I've just reconnected the battery again just to see if we happen to get any life back in the car now that maybe it's not shorting out somewhere. Oh, we have a cluster again. Oh wow, we don't have this upper light, so I don't know if that works, but I now have a gauge cluster. Oh my god, I have obviously a tire pressure light because I've removed all the tire pressure and PDC stuff. I can see how much fuel I have. I have air conditioning. I do not have electric windows. I have some central locking. Oh, and a warning light. I think that might be to do with the boot, perhaps. We have no spoiler action. But I have a gauge cluster. I have working cluster and working air conditioning with auto. Just make sure I've still got radio. Radio's working. Even have a seatbelt warning light. 47,657 miles. I'm curious. I wonder if the central locking, that's what that warning was. I don't know what that means. All sorts of different lights having issues. Inactive, yeah, that's because of, I don't know what that means. I think that means service because there's an issue. Come on now. Oh, trip computer is 0 miles. Fuel, I've got 96 miles worth. Clock's obviously broken. I've even got temperature. I do not have windows. Central locking's working. We can lock and unlock the car, but the windows still are not happy. And the spoiler, obviously, is not happy. Very pleased with that result. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you like these videos and you want to see more updates from my Mini Coupe, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time, where hopefully we'll start to get this thing running and maybe an MOT. We'll see. See you later.